Today I want to talk to you about this, content credentials. Because even though I wrote and recorded all of the music for this video, how would you know that? How could I prove it? Well, content credentials can provide an answer for that. It's very exciting, but it's very new in music. So let's take a short dive in. The need for traceability and provenance in audio and video and images has never been greater. Between generative AI and just good old-fashioned fakes, it's very hard to tell if what you're looking at is real. And one way to solve this problem is with content provenance. C2PA is an implementation of content provenance that applies to video, images, text, and music files. C2PA is the Coalition for Content Provenance and Authenticity. It's a body that sets standards with contributing members like myself, and the goal is transparency in terms of the provenance of data in video, audio, and image file formats. You've probably seen C2PA in action on Instagram or LinkedIn, or if you use generative AI image processing from some of the larger companies, you'll see these content provenance tags displayed, and you know that if you click on them, you can get information about when it was created and what created it. C2PA also allows for you to opt out of using that asset for training for generative AI purposes for systems that respect it. And this is a very powerful tool in the hands of creators who want to protect their intellectual property. So you might ask, how does this all work? C2PA is basically a signed manifest that's attached to the file. It uses a cryptographic seal, and it creates a number of claims and assertions about what's in the file that can then be retrieved if somebody else examines the file. And this is typically done through some kind of metadata strategy. It depends on the file format. In music, it's not evenly implemented, and some of these formats are difficult to work with for the purposes of metadata. So really, WAV files, MP3s, and MP4s are where I would use it most often. Even though I'm a Logic Pro user and I tend to sit in AIFF as a file format, WAV is really better for this application because it's just easier to work with in the C2PA infrastructure. If you're a photographer, you may have already seen C2PA in Photoshop or in Lightroom. You can connect your social media identity to those programs and then use that as part of the identity that you're sealing in the C2PA manifest, which is fantastic. There is no way to do that in a DAW, a digital audio workstation, today. I'm using Watermarks and C2PA technology from a company called ContentLens. They are very focused on the music industry, and they have a solution that ties both of them together. I should also note, in full disclosure, I am also consulting with them, so I have a relationship with this company. So this allows me to watermark and C2PA seal a musical asset when I'm going to send it out. So in other words, if I'm sending it to somebody else for a collaboration or anything like that, putting it up on Songbox or Taxi or wherever it's going to go, I'm going to add the watermark with the C2PA seal. Now, it's not uncommon for the C2PA manifest to get stripped off the file because it's in the metadata, and there are a lot of things that operate on metadata in a music tech pipeline. This is why the watermark is so important, because the watermark has a soft binding to the C2PA manifest. So even if the metadata gets stripped off, if I take a resulting asset, maybe somebody stems it, right, and they use part of it for something else, I can take that stemmed version, recover the watermark, and then from the watermark recover the C2PA manifest and say, look, I sealed this file on this date through this process. That's incredibly powerful. And sure, watermarking's been around for a while, but this combination of watermarking with the provenance information in what is becoming a growing standard, particularly in the news industry, that's really, really powerful. So there are lots of challenges with implementing C2PA, and really until the digital audio workstation manufacturers get on board, it's probably going to be rocky going. I use ContentLens to sign the files that I'm sending out But that doesn't happen within the DAW. That happens outside the DAW, so it just creates another step in my workflow. These are all things that are going to get ironed out, and they lead to a place which is really compelling. Yeah. So there's this beautiful vision of the future where I can take any audio asset that I hear, and I can identify it to some validator service, and I can determine conclusively where it came from, who wrote it, when, and all kinds of other information. That's going to be a really powerful moment, and it's going to revolutionize a lot of things in the music business. So I'm excited to contribute to that future as a composer and musician with Catamount Music, as a consultant working with ContentLens on watermark and fingerprinting adoption, and as a contributing member of the C2PA. I hope you come along this journey with me, and please feel free to reach out if you have questions.